Hola, Kinalito, aka Mahali Selepe, the girl that calls four countries home. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back. If you are a returning subscriber, you are the very best. Now, if you are new here, thank you for joining us today and hope you come back. Thank you guys. Do not forget to click that subscribe button before you leave, okay? Tell you what, let me give you a moment. Let me give you a moment to do that. So you just scroll up, it's right underneath the video. Well, you have to be on the computer. If you're watching from the TV, you can't. So yeah, make time to go to your computer or on your phone, click that like button and click that red subscribe button, make it gray, and then you click that bell for the notification. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about the thing. I'm going to talk about. Okay, I forgot what I was going to talk about for a minute. I'm going to talk about boarding school experiences. I don't want this to be long. I'm just gonna mention, I think, two highlights from my two boarding schools. So I went to boarding school at 11, turning 12. So schools in Lesotho and South Africa start in January. So I went to boarding school. My birthday is the 1st of February. So I was 12 technically. I was 11, turning 12. I went to Emmanuel High School. I don't know if it's called Emmanuel Seventh Adventist High School. No, it's just Emmanuel High School in Leribe, Lesotho. I had always wanted to go to this school. Like, I remember I asked my parents, like, I always wanted to go to this school. And I was so happy when they let me. My sister had wanted to go as well, but then the church, so I'm Seventh Adventist, and we lived in Maseru Mission. My dad was the president of the Seventh Adventist Church in Lesotho. And then, so my sister wanted to go to Emmanuel as well, to the boarding school in Leribe, but then the church started a new school, a high school in Maseru on the campus where we lived. So, my parents had to lead by example, and my sister had to scrap the plans of going to Emmanuel and just stay here. So I was hoping that wouldn't happen with me. So I was so happy when my parents let me. I think that whole year my mom made me, I had to wash my own clothes. I remember the first time I washed my own, I can't remember what I had done, or I hadn't changed out of my nightie. I had this night dress that went all the way down to my knees, below my knees, I think to my ankles. I think it went all the way down to my ankles. And I hadn't changed when I woke up in the morning. I had woken up and then gone and played with my friends, and we had gotten ourselves dirty, back home it's all soil, everything is soily. And then my mom said to wash it. And I remember after washing it, everything's hand wash. After washing it, I remember looking at it on the line and it was brown. It was a white thing, like it was like cream white or very light brown, but it was dark brown. And it was there and it was still dripping, like the water, I hadn't wrung it properly. And yeah, I just remember, she then made me wash blankets. She made me wash lots of things, do my own things, just so I'm independent enough to go start boarding school. I was so excited when I went to Emmanuel. They were telling us that, hey, because so Form 1s arrived first. And then first year of high school was called Form 1. I think it still is Form 1 or Form A, which is standard 7. Okay, I don't know what it is in South Africa. Could be standard 8, actually, grade 8. So anywho, the first years got there first. Form 1s got there first, and then the Form 4s. I remember because at the end of each year, like Form 3s and Form 5s, they write external exams, like the nationwide exams, and that's how you go to the upper high school. So Form 5s is they leave. After that, they go to uni. But the form 3s, they come back to form, they write their G, okay, I don't know what they call it. And then they go to form 4. So, because I think their results come late or something, late in January. So they come to school later. I think they come to school like in March or something, the form 4s. So I remember when we got to Emmanuel, like, there's a thing like, treating, like you're getting treated if you are new. I don't know if that's the English term, but kasutu a treatwa, they make you do things. If you are form 1s, they make you really like, they struggle, like just, initiation, They were like, you guys should wait until Masikit gets here. You'll see. If you think we are tough, wait until you see Maskit. So Maskit is actually my sister. House Maskit is my cousin. So I was just quiet because everybody was talking about Masikit. They'll see. If they think they were playing, they'll see Masikit. So she was popular for making the form 1s miserable, like for making them hate school and hate her. She was tough. She used to make people do all sorts of things, that I can't think of right now. But she was feared, She was horrible. So when she arrived, I remember her calling me and she was like, Lito, because you're here, I can't do much to the form 1s, I can just intimidate them to an extent, but I can't do the things I'm famous for because it will be unfair because I can't do that to you. So, so that year the form 1s escaped because I was there, So thanks Ausma. So anywho, I remember her giving me tips about being at Emmanuel. She's like, okay. So Emmanuel was in the rural areas of Lesotho. I mean, Lesotho is 90% rural anyway. But this place had, we didn't have plugs on the walls for irons, but there was light. But it was pretty rural, compared to Maseru, where I came from. And I remember, and then, okay, so because it was in a village, so when you walk from the taxi, you get off the taxi, you walk into the school. It's quite a walk. It's probably like 5 kilometers from the taxi stop to the school. Could be less actually. So when you walk there, you meet these boys from the village. They ask people out. Oh my day. So I remember her giving me tips. She's like, okay, this is what you do. As soon as you get off, you do a face. Even if she's like, that's the only way you get out of this. That's the only way, like, these boys will leave you alone. When you get out of the taxi or when you see them come, you either, she's like, sometimes she took out. She's like, sometimes you just take a bogey and put it here, and you have to do a face. Just do some face. Make sure all these boys walk past you. They like pretty girls, so you're in trouble if you're not gonna do that. So I do remember one time getting off that taxi and seeing this boy with his blanket and his hat and his stick, coming towards me. Hey, and I was like, I walked towards. So I did my face and he just walked past me, So so those are some of the highlights I remember about that place. Plus the singing. Ooh! We used to sing together. People loved to sing. We used to sing together when we got in the dining hall. So there was lots of school meetings, like student meetings. I can't remember why. So sometimes we'll be meeting the whole school. Sometimes it would just be the boarders. But there was just a thing of, as soon as you get into the dining hall, someone starts a song. Oh my days. And we all just sing, loudly. Oh, and the songs would be like traditional Sotho songs. Like, Oh man, I loved being at that school. I loved being at that school. I mean, already the school, I was well known because my dad had lived there when we were kids, you know. Before we moved to Maseru, we lived at Emmanuel. We moved to Maseru 85, but my dad started working there 86. At first, my mom and I first moved there. We stayed at the Mufulos. Mom started working in the mission, Maseru mission, at the nurse. My mom ran the clinic. So I was at the crash, at Mrs. Mufulo's crash, and then my brother went to Nokung, stayed with my grandma, and my sister stayed with my dad. It was about 3 months. And then at the end of that year, my dad was voted in to be the president of the Lesotho field, and then that's how then he moved to, you know, the rest of the family joined us in Maseru, and we moved into our home. This reminds me, shout out to everyone I grew up with in Maseru Mission, the Poles, Mabuti, Abdi Monti, Abdi Pole, Karabilo Mainwani, Tepile, Abdi Tibello, Osimpulukeng, RIP, Pomatiti, Abdi Tweu, Bokang, Lebu Chobokwani, Mueti Chobokwani, Muipeng, Lebu Muipeng, Linda Muipeng. Who else? Yeah, I think those are all the people who lived there when I lived there. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. You know, so all those people. We had Mujabeng on the other side. Oh my days! I don't think she'd ever see this. I wonder what happened to Mujabeng. They had that, like, they lived just outside the campus, but we were always going to them. And we also had Fatima. We had this Indian family that lived behind the church offices, and we used to, you know, go visit them sometimes as well. So yeah, those are the highlights of my, it's now become, it's not highlights of the boarding school, but that's highlights of Emmanuel. And then the highlights of Kangele now, because otherwise this will be really long. Yeah, Emmanuel, the highlights was definitely the singing. In Emmanuel, I never got to be in a singing group. But there was this singing group that sang so amazingly well. I remember the time they invited me to come join their singing group was towards the end of the year. I was going to join in the next year, only to find that I'm actually moving. At the end of that year, my dad got a call to come lecture biblical studies at Bethel College in Transkei, which is now the Eastern Cape. That's how we then went to Kangele, which was a boarding school, another Adventist boarding school in Mount Frere, which I've mentioned before. So at Kangele, oh my days, Kangele was just something else. I think I've mentioned this before, that we have a WhatsApp group, and we all still like really good friends, like siblings, you know. We still feel like we family. What's the highlight about Kangele? Oh my days. Yeah, the singing, this time not the group singing, but the singing in church. Congregational singing, and the groups. We had different groups that sang. Oh my days. I sang for a few groups. I was asked to come sing for. There was this we called it Girls Glee, and there was a mixed group, and there was like trios. The singing, people sang like, oh my days, oh my days. So in Lesotho, there were people who sang amazingly well, but there were not many, you know. We had a group in Maseru called Harvest 90, you know. Oh, they sang so well. They were like teenagers, but for us, they were like, you know, the old people, because we were in primary school. They were amazing. They were amazing. So we knew those are the people who sang, you know, like we had people who really sang. And then I sang in a quartet when I was younger, until the Chobokwanis moved from Maseru. Because we had Ausumoko Tolotane, who was the group manager. We sang the quartet, I think I was about 5, 6, 7, 8 until that age. And And then after that, I didn't sing anymore. When they left, our group sort of fell apart. So we just had this group, Harvest 90, that sang, you know. And then when I went to Emmanuel, there was also this one group that sang really well. There was this girl called Refilwe. Ooh, ooh, ooh. When she led, oh my days, she was amazing. Kanyele, everybody sang. It felt that way. Of course, there were people who couldn't sing. But there were so many groups, and everybody was so good. Everybody was amazing. Oh my days. The congregational singing. You know, you are singing in the congregation, you're singing a hymn or a chorus, and there are people ad-libbing. Oh wow. It felt like this huge choir, you know. Let me make an example. Oh my days, I can't even think of a song. What example I can make? Like there'll be like, you know, those sort of things being put in between. Cheli amo, cheli, Jesu, tema matata runa, oritu tatiloshe umutwala twana li Jesu. Like, oh my days, like it was so different. Like, whoa, who are these people? What are they like? How are these kids so confident? You know, we're all their kids, we're all teenagers, but people were so confident. They were so confident in singing. Oh my days, that was the highlight. And then, oh my days, okay, Kanyele was just completely out of order. Oh no, there were just things that were happening there that people needed to be taken to jail for. So I remember, oh my days. Okay, some people stole in Emmanuel as well, but Kanyele was a bit worse. Okay, people stole. So we had trunks. In your trunk you put all your dry foods, because we had like the same foods every time at dining hall. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays it was okay, I don't remember. I just remember Tuesday and Thursday we had umngqusho, samp and beans mixed, and then we had rice on Sabbath. I can't remember if Monday or Wednesday. Oh man, I think we had papa and cabbage. I can't believe I forgot. But anywho, people stole, okay? To a point where someone will steal your clothes, someone would steal your uniform. It has your name on it, and you can see your name, but they will tell you this is not your name. So if there's any children watching this, this is very wrong. This is very wrong. I'm not laughing because it's right, okay? It's because it is slightly funny. It is funny, but it is wrong. So people would still, like, we got to a point where even I remember my friends and I would just argue, like, you know, we used to take the Mickey, Nomsa and I, my best friend in Kangele, and we'd be like if I tell you this is yellow, it's yellow. Like, you can't tell me anything else. If I say it's black to me, you can't. This is black. I don't care what you think. So I remember one time they stole my shirt from the line. So I didn't have any clean shirt to wear. So I stole, was it the shirt or the socks? Oh goodness, I can't remember now. We'll say it's shirt. I stole this shirt, and then I think it was socks. Yeah, I stole the socks, and the socks were written T Pekana. Okay? I took the socks. I didn't have socks to wear. The owner was told. Her name was Tobeka. And I asked my friend Tebogo. I had a friend called Tebogo, Pakani. Okay? And the socks belonged to Tobeka Pekana. We're like, okay, my friend, these are your socks. You have lent me the socks. She's like, yep. Tobeka sees her socks. Tobeka comes. Vera, you have my socks. Can I please have my socks? I'm like, these are not your socks. These are Deb's socks. She's like, let me see. I show her. She said, that says T Pakan. I'm like, no, this says T. No, she's like, this says T Pekana. I'm like, wait, no, this says T Pakani. I'm telling you, we had a serious fight. It got heated. She called, we had witnesses. People came into our room. It was a heated thing. We're like, what does this say? And people are like, oh my, Lomtana, you, I sana. Like, they're like, Vera, Kota. And some are just laughing because it clearly says T, Pekana. And some people are on my side, they're like, yeah, no, it looks like it says Pakani. Tomaka was so annoyed. Can I tell you, I wore those socks to school. I wore those socks to school because I stood by I was like, this says T, Pakane. It's not Pekana, it's Pakane. I'm like, look, Pakane. So those are the things that happened at Kanyere, and unfortunately, that's a highlight, even though it's not a positive thing, even though it was, even though it wasn't a positive thing, you know, but it is something that I always remember about how crazy. Yeah, that's what I always remember about how crazy that place is, guys. I think that story just is a nutshell of how this place was. So yeah, no, I hope you enjoyed those crazy stories of my boarding school experiences. And I think really that's why, you know, my kids, I'm not taking my kids to boarding school. It's just corruption. That's a topic for another time, and I will talk about, I think, what's my take on boarding school versus not, going to boarding school. Thank you guys for watching. Love you, but remember that God loves you even more, and that is true. Ciao, ciao. Hela, you've watched everything. Thank you so much for watching everything. Now don't forget to subscribe and go back to my other videos and scroll and watch everything. There's very good things in here, very good interesting things. You are number one. Now thank you and take care of yourself.